Hello everyone, welcome back to another Albion online video. And what exactly are we going to do today? Well, we are going to be finding out which crop is the best one for you to grow. Now, there's a lot of crops for you to choose from, so it's very important that you choose the right one for you. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. So the first thing that's very important for you to know is that in order to grow your crops, you have to have an island. Now, in order to do this, you have to have at least 7 days of premium active in order to be able to buy one island. Now, once you do that, you also have to upgrade it, otherwise you will have very limited spots for you to grow your plantations on. Now that you have your plantations, the first thing you're going to be required to do is make a decision on which crop you're supposed to plant. Now, this is very important because it will very much determine how much money you're going to be making in the long run. Now, in order to decide this, there is one thing that you need to do, which is look at the production bonuses of the city. Now, what does this mean? It means that each city has a bonus for certain crops. So it's very important that if you decide to plant carrots, you plant them on Limrist, where the bonus of production is. So what exactly is the bonus production? Well, this pretty much is an extra 10% of product yield you get. So in this case, if you were to get 100 carrots, you would get extra 10%, so 110. So pretty much you have a higher chance of getting more product and more money in this case. So it's very important that you utilize this production as best as you can. So always plant the crops in the right city so you get this extra 10%. Now, how exactly does planting work? Well, it is pretty straightforward. You're going to be requiring one ingredient only, which is one seed. Now, this seed will have to grow, so you're going to have to give it from 22 to 24 hours to grow. And on the next day, you have a small chance of getting your seed back, as well as, of course, the result of the seed, which are the crops. Now, they can vary all the way from 6 to 14 or 4 to 12, depending very much on the city you're planting it on and if it has a bonus or not. Something that's also very important for you to know is that you can use focus to water the plants. And by watering the plants, it basically increases the chances of you getting your seed back. Now, related to the seed, it's very important that you know that lower tier seeds have a smaller chance of getting the seed back. As for higher tiers, for example tier 8s, have pretty much a 95% chance of getting it back. Now that we know this, you may be wondering, well, then in these I am just gonna farm and raise and have crops of higher tiers, tier 8s, because this way I'll always be guaranteed a seed. Well, this is the issue. It's that this rate is not 100%, so it means that you're not always gonna get your seed back. And when you don't, you're gonna be finding out very quick that each seed costs 25-30k each, which means that if you miss one seed, eventually you're going to be losing so much money on the next 10-15 crops you pick up. So it's kind of a game of chance, and I particularly am not a fan of chance, as I am pretty unlucky. So what did I find out that works for me? And it's very safe and always a steady income profit. Well, it's carrots. Now, carrots themselves have 0% return rate, which means that I am never getting my seed back. And now you're like, wow, that's awful, Nendys. But the seeds, since they are the lowest tier crop, they're so cheap. Each seed costs me only 2,000 silver. Now, as you'll see, we in a max island, we have 144 plots, which means that we are only paying 288,000 seeds, which is very little compared to how much the carrots give me back. Now, if you think about it, when you're having a tier 8, if we lose one seed, that's already 30k down the drain. So it means that in the whole plot of 144, we can only miss out about 5 to 6 seeds.
Holy Look at all this damage! And we're gonna repair it using FlexShot.
Before we are down in money compared to the profit we make with the carrots. Now, with this being said, it's very important that we know how much money exactly are we making with carrots. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. So, let's really quick do a speedrun of our island and go over how much money we make from the carrots, as well as the best places to sell them, and the best recipes where you can use the carrots you harvest to make more money.
Entombed in my mind, can't seem to break away. Lost in time, thinking about better days. Do you ever get used to the pain? 'Cause I don't know if I can do this again. Now you got me wondering why you let me die alone inside. I died for you, I cried for you, I tried for you. Tell me why you left me bleeding. I died for you, I cried for you, I tried for you. Tell me why you left me bleeding. Tell me why you left me bleeding.
Now, we've picked up every single carrot and we made 515,000 silver. However, this is not our net profit as we paid the seed as well. So to this 550,000 silver, we have to deduct the 288,000 silver that the seed costed us. In this case, we are left with a profit of 227k. Now, this does not seem like a lot because it isn't. Now, carrots themselves are pretty cheap, but so are most crops. What exactly are we going to be doing with the carrots? Well, we're not going to sell them at Immersed because they're super cheap. They're selling for around 310, 315. And now, why exactly are they so cheap here? Well, that's because the bonus of production is in the city. So what we can do is we can take it to another city. In this case, we can take it to Fort Sterling, which is the city right next to it. And as you guys can see, the price just increases if you just transport it to another city. Now, why is Fort Sterling such a good city for you to take your carrots to? Well, one of the main buildings that people have in Fort Sterling where there's a bonus for production is the lumber mill. Now, the lumber mill itself, he is fed carrot soups. So something that you can do with your carrots, instead of just selling them, is crafting the carrot soups themselves and selling them directly in the market for a lot of money and profit. So you can use your focus in two different ways. In watering, if you want to, and in crafting the carrot soups for a huge profit at the end of the month. So, why exactly are carrots the best crop for you to grow when you're not utilizing focus? Well, because deep down you know you're never getting your seed back. What does this mean? It means that you are never to be expected any seed. So you know that every time you go to plant, you have to buy 288 seeds. And you are expected always the same return, which in this case, if you're growing your crops in the bonus city, it is going to be somewhat of the 6 to 14 yield per crop. If you get 6 crops, which is the bottom or the lowest that you can get, this means that every day you're going to be getting 300,000 silver in carrots. Now, if you get 14, which is the maximum, you can get up to 705,000 silver. Now, this profit becomes even more if you decide to utilize your focus on the carrot soups and selling them on Fort Sterling. What shouldn't you do when you're growing carrots? Well, first things first, you should never use focus. Now, why is that? Because as you guys know, using focus only increases your chance of getting a seed back. It doesn't increase the amount of yield you get. So, if you're utilizing your focus on a carrot and you get your seed back, we are only getting 2,000 silver back. But if we're using focus on a tier 8 and we get the seed back, it is 30,000 silver. So the profit or the focus, it's much better spent when using focus on tier 8 than when it's to use focus on tier 2. Anyways, guys, that is it for me. If you guys are interested in more type of videos like this, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And yeah, as usual, that's it for me. Thank you so much, and Nendys out.